All right, mic check. All right, we good. I don't know if they was trying to hate, but let's get back on it. Send out them notifications. Let's go.
Black people, I love you, and I love you enough to tell you, you ain't ready to revolt shit. You don't feed yourself, you don't hunt your own animals and slaughter them, you don't prepare your own meat, you don't own your own land, you don't have a seed going in your window. So when you think about revolutionaryism, and you think about fighting and dying in the street, you ain't shit.
Killer Mike said black people ain't ready to revolt. It's a disparaging marriage and he ready to elope. Maritime coastline, deep V hull boat. Crack a nose turned up, machete to your throat. The divine snatched the arm back, she fine, she in Zinga. Moroccan mercenary got a line on Moringa. Ask Chief X to swing it. Go fund me to rock a new car or build a school like I'm Dr. Umar. Nah, go fund some more guns, banana clips and cannabis, and bury it, the jackal, Anubis. I'm cool, keep them heaters, and I'm in tie in an abyss. He ain't rapping due to libations, he just channeling this.
Hands down, you ain't ready to oppose nothing. You are as a part of this system as any white person gentrified.
I'm on life. Hovercraft propellers over swamp water. We make the thoughtful think they should have thought harder. Be aware of this. Don't blink, there's only one blunt between the careful and careless. It's hard to face it when you need a shrink or a therapist. Mental disorder ordered them to label you a terrorist. I breathe elements and I found the secret. We could all walk on water if it's ground beneath it. I carry my weapon and keep my trees, and still be Hotep and ask Tariq Nasheed. 6 in the morning I greet my seed, then do everything I think I need.
I have to say this because I know our spirit and our emotions get stirred. I'm not against nobody on the panel. I'm with everybody on the panel. I'm not diametrically opposed to I agree with everything my brother said about revolutionaryism. So let me ask you guys a few questions. We're in the South, in the heart of the South right now. Fishing. Who knows how to fish? Hands down. Who knows how to hunt? Let's hands. Hands down. Hands down. Hands down. Hands down.
Black people, are you ready to revolt? Black people, are you ready to revolt? Black people, are you ready to revolt? Black people, are you ready to revolt?
What up, what up, what up, what up? I mean, we done already drove the nail in the coffin. You know what I mean? They already don't know what to do. They switching positions. God. Then they caught another bomb from overseas last night while they was asleep. Boom. Blowing up their Darwinism. This dude didn't even know Darwin was a racist, bruh. God. After all this, so we're going to hit you with an A and B selection like we in Cheers Nuts, you know what I'm talking about? Hey, your boy Uncle Cat, that's my #1 fan. Your first I never debate, I put it in your hand. Your niggas never been out of America, Penang, Khartoum, I'm the man of Sudan. Now watch me do my end zone dance. Is that your friend home? It depend on chance, and my pen gone. Where your old homies at? Oh, they been gone. The bearers shoot like Genesis. I ain't even keeping the score. These are scrimmages. Look at them attached to smash these appendages. That's why you ain't got no Archers content. don't stop, boy.
You steady talking about my shit. At your last show, Greg, it really wasn't it. You said Jabari stole the debate and threw a fit. I'm a rock squad, everybody see the split. And Madjai the only ones left in this bitch. That's why I took the Facebook group from you. And you ain't try to tell nobody that. He like a fiend, get robbed and be cool as long as don't nobody know. Yeah, that's how he act.
Pipsqueak pipe down. You ain't got no scholars with you. Cedric got you wiped down. Juju got you wiped down. Gozy got you wiped down. It's like your show. I'm killing pseudos right now. And you can't read that metal letter that I write down. Then I prove him and mean black people, they tight now. Said I smack your ass, bully, don't wanna fight now. Few of these give a nigga Z's with the night now. And teach a nigga about the smack migration. Had atheist dudes pouring black libations. Cause the Mac tried patience, but they acted like they hard-headed. So fuck it, they could all get it. That's right, I'll bust your pinata, act like Nepal said it. Y'all edit up videos that give your dog credit. Authentic author, carcinogenic artist. Y'all should caution your authors. It's been a minute since I checked these feminine minutes. They timid with it. It's Madjai for life. And Kemet winning. Unlimited images invented by Hemet women. Celestial pools of life. And I'm swimming in them. Finna kill them. They snakes, but they ain't got no venom in them. Really never watch their shows. I'm done dealing with them. When I hear your voice, it's hard to feel a nigga. Sister Naya wrote your book and it was 30 pages. Hey, they jealous of Jabari. And Madjai bring the ladies and the fellas to the party. Just embellishing my intelligence. Hell if I be Gotti. Madjai just caught a body. Oh no, and they ain't got no recourses. Get them on their show when they won't show sources. 350Z is dropped, it got horses. Little niggas tripping, should've stayed on their porches. Y'all ride poor, my nigga, we ride Porsches. Y'all Wikipedia scholars, we take courses. And the experts agree with me. Kemet on trial, wasn't nothing but G's with me. Brought my New York niggas out. Kemet straight black, yeah, you know what this shit about. Check the pinky, bro, who wearing the ring. If you see me in the streets, bitch, salute the king. I wouldn't pity a thing, I'm like Idi Amin. My committee sent me defending with the wittiest schemes. Hideous schemes, really it's the silliest thing for you to think that you could get me. On this mic, I'm more like Don Cornelius. Raise your hand if you never done an encore. I write the rhymes DJs drop bombs for. Sitting low, hitting grass with the blade spinning. That's a lawnmower. Y'all should hang that up. That Caracuni interview don't even bring that up. I mean, this the type of nigga steal Moringa from Chief X. When you strung out, stealing is a reflex. I'm killing them, they don't want no beef next. I'm the Bruce Lee of the loose leaf text. If I do seem vexed, I'm in a new clean test, getting charged up while you're boosting next. Hey, Smash just killed the whole pseudo killers. 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 I'm on that block in there. Oh, Smash just killed the whole pseudo killers. I need to do that one. Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Madjai Archers in the building. Let's see them arrows up. Peace to Tone. What's up? The Sheriff, Robinson, Tall Guy, Mr. Black. What's up? That was just a perk of listening to my YouTube, following my YouTube channel, Mr. Black. I'll be just making some bars, just having fun, not really putting shit out, but just rapping. Oh, they got bombed from overseas last night. Oh, the King's monologue just tore them apart. They don't know what to do. They getting hit from all over. They trying to switch up. They should just do a humble ass video and save face. Like, okay, we just wanted to check and make sure. Cause now they all in their chat talking about, so now the question should be, so that they black. Okay, they black, now what? Switching up. But before we get to today's featured film, we're going to watch how they got the brakes beat off their Darwinism. Sitting there talking about he made that up. Y'all got to watch these catchphrases in the conscious community. If somebody's trying to convince you somebody made something up, that's your spidey sensor should go off and just hit the Google real quick. And you could come back with, no, he didn't make that up. Says right here. Yeah, they tried to run up on the king. Didn't know he was an archer. Because they got it mistaken. They thought Madjai was an organization. It's a mindset. I bring mindsets. Just like I brought the mindset of Rap God to hip hop. Go get on Twitter and go look for the oldest statement of Rap God. Like the oldest person that ever said it. That wasn't a thing in hip hop. It was the god of rap, Rakim. But I was like, no, being a rap god, first of all, is about receiving your veneration and your deification incarnate. If you have reached that level, it ain't about just one person being that. It's hella rap gods. Put that out there. Same thing with the Madjai. I was seeing hella people who had the will to fight against this nonsense and probably just didn't have all the information. Oh, and I was sitting back like, if don't nobody pop up, it's on me. Because all of these people who know they lying and just can't prove it, ain't got the time to research it, man, I got all the time in the world. So shout out to King's Monologue for bombing them on their Darwinism, for trying to run up on the brother who promoting good knowledge. They want to tear down everything that's positive and black. Peep game, though.
See the Arts degree. Joe, where you at, Joe? Come on, Joe. Where you at?
I'm right here.
Did anybody put the King's Monologue through the litmus test?
Oh, no, y'all didn't.
First of all, I'm going to let this video play. But I just need to speak on this fake-ass litmus test. What it really is a way to divert the conversation to some shit that the conversation is totally not about, to switch it up to start talking about Darwinism and shit. Litmus test? Let me let this video play.
See the Arts degree. Joe, where you at, Joe? Come on, Joe. Where you at?
I'm right here.
Did anybody put the King's Monologue through the litmus test?
Oh, no, y'all didn't.
Hey, King.
You already see me yet. You already see me yet. We value.
Hey, man, I got daughters, and I teach my daughters, don't laugh at shit that ain't funny. Niggas prey on that. I tell my daughter, don't be no kiki in this motherfucker. And we got men who don't even know that. What was funny about that?
See the Arts degree. Joe, where you at, Joe? Come on, Joe. Where you at?
I'm right here.
Did anybody put the King's Monologue through the litmus test?
Oh, no, y'all didn't.
Hey, King.
You already see me yet. You already see me yet. We value.
You're an avid supporter of biological evolution. Am I correct?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you. You're
Biological evolution. I don't talk about evolution.
No, I
Not
said
direction.
I'm saying, are you a supporter of that?
I don't talk about evolution.
No, I didn't say that. I said, are you a supporter of that?
Why would I be a supporter of something that I don't talk about?
No, bro. I'm asking you right now. Have you ever heard of?
Do you agree with evolution?
Do I agree with evolution?
Yes.
Not as a lesson split forth by Charles Darwin.
Aspects of it.
No, Charles Darwin.
Aspects of it. Provable aspects of it.
No such thing as that.
This is, we already know.
No, so what you're trying to do is
I'm just asking you a question, yo.
And I've given you an answer. I said aspects. Why would I say it's not? You do realize that's not a belief system.
You realize that that's a pseudo statement right there, right?
No, it's a pseudo statement to ask if I believe in any science. You're not supposed to. Science is not a belief system. Knock it off.
Do you accept the scientific theory that Charles Darwin put forth? That's all I'm asking.
Like I said, aspects, not all of it. Right. Definitely not wholly.
Right.
Absolutely not wholly.
Well, that's why you can't understand Egyptian conversation. There you have it. Go
because
ahead.
I don't accept Charles Darwin.
Correct.
So wait a second. You accept? So wait a second. Let me fire a question back. You accept Charles Darwin wholly? Yeah.
No, I accept his theory.
Okay, so you accept that you're closer to you accept that you're closer to an ape than a white person.
What? Hey, TKM, you almost had me feeling bad a little bit.
Yeah, you know where you at.
I was like, TKM, I was like, I kind of like him. He okay. I think I might want to take it back, the pseudo thing. He does know some terms. I said, maybe I'm wrong. And then you do this to me.
Do you accept that you're closer to an ape than a white person? You just said it's a simple
I'm
question.
saying that white people are just as old as black people. That's what I'm saying.
No. But you said you accept Charles Darwin's theory wholeheartedly. So my question was, I said I accept aspects of it. You said you accept it wholeheartedly. So you must accept the part where he says that black people are closer to apes than white people. So do you accept that? Yes or no?
You made that up, yo. Get out.
I made that up.
You made that up.
Did I make that up?
You're talking about the theory of evolution that's put forward by Charles Darwin. You're talking about his book.
You know, it's interesting. How many of you here have read The Origin of Species by Darwin? You know, most school teachers, majority, have never read The Descent of Man. You read his books and you'll see what he taught. That's why the late Harvard paleontologist Stephen Jay Gould said this: biological arguments for racism may have been common before 1850, but they increased by orders of magnitude following the acceptance of evolutionary theory. In Darwin's book, The Descent of Man, he says, this is just one example, at some future period, the civilized races will exterminate the savage races. The break between man and his nearest allies will then be wider than the Caucasians and some ape as low as a baboon, instead of now as between the Negro, Australian Aborigines and the gorilla. Do you realize what he's saying? The Australian Aborigines and people from Africa are closer to the apes than the Caucasians. How's that for racism?
You made that up, yo. Get out.
I made that up.
You made that up.
Did I make that up?
You're talking about the theory of evolution that's put forward by Charles Darwin. You're talking about his book.
Then the Caucasians and some ape as low as a baboon, instead of now as between the Negro, Australian Aborigines and the gorilla. Do you realize what he's saying? The Australian Aborigines and people from Africa are closer to the apes than the Caucasians. How's that for racism?
It's like people who deny evolution. You're stuck in time. You can't move forward in your studies. The elbow community will never move forward in their studies because they get evolution wrong. They will never understand the native population. They're not allowed to understand it. The same way with the quote-unquote blackologists. They can't get it right. That's why they continue to bumble all over themselves, blur shit, incoherently trying to promote false narratives. Playing Egyptian, you ain't gonna get it. You're not even gonna be able to understand that segment of African culture and historiography because you don't understand. You can't get it. As they talk about that, they're not even talking about the Egyptians, right? Or that ancient population that resided in the Nile, 10,000, 5,000, 6,000. 2500 BCE. They not talking about that, y'all. They're actually talking about the made-up figment in their mind.
That's why in 1924 there was a New York Tribune newspaper published that said the missing links were found in Australia, the Australian Aborigines. There were scientists from England and Germany who sent people to Australia to hunt down the Aborigines, to herd them over cliffs or into swamps, and with instructions on how to skin them and boil up their skulls for specimens in the name of evolution. And a major biology textbook used in public schools in America in the 1900s and was used in 1925 said this: the races of man, and based on Darwinian evolution, at the present time there exist upon the earth 5 races, the highest type of all represented by the Caucasians, represented by the civilized white inhabitants of Europe and America. Generations of kids in the public schools, based on evolution, were taught the Caucasians are the highest race. And we wonder why we have so much racism and prejudice in our culture.
Sit up here and agree that humans come from Africa and then deny Charles Darwin.
I heard the question. I'm going to respond.
No, what was the question? So we'll make sure we got it.
The question is, are you going to stand by the fact that humans came from Africa, knowing it came from Charles Darwin?
No, it was another piece that's essential, based off the fact that it wasn't based off of finding humans in Africa. It was based off of finding apes.
Okay, great. So he made a prediction. Fantastic.
No, a scientific prediction.
Okay, no one's denying that, Broank. Listen, you asked me a question, and I'm going to respond now, but you're really hard of comprehending what you said. You said to me, do you wholly accept Charles Darwin's theory of evolution? I said I accept aspects of it, which is a very normal response and a sensible response.
I would caution you, and again, I think this is something that even scholars, right, even people who are professional scholars, you know, we always have to constantly check ourselves and say, okay, this is what my authoritative source says. Well, why is that? Why do I consider that source authoritative? And what is the basis for what that source says? And then, am I interpreting it correctly? Am I understanding it right?
Right.
Right. So there are all these different layers that you have to think about whenever you approach something. But there are times when it's even the most authoritative scholarly source, it's worth thinking about how they got there. Because that can tell us how to use that information. It can help us think about how to use it and how to expand on it, how to go from there, if that makes sense.
Over the course of the book, Darwin describes Australians, Mongolians, Africans, Indians, South Americans, Polynesians, and even Eskimos as savages. It becomes clear that he considers every population that is not white and European to be savage. The word savage is disdainful, and Darwin constantly elevates white Europeans above the savages. Darwin explains that the highest races and lowest savages, that's a quote, differ in moral disposition and in intellect. So I will ask you now, Browank, do you wholeheartedly accept all of Charles Darwin's theory?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. So you're a savage then, yeah?
And the theory
that's you right there. Yeah, you are lowly savage. That's you, lowly savage. I don't accept that part, but that's cool. Well done, lowly savage. You're a lowly savage. You're a bunch of lowly savages. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done, savages. Enjoy scratching. Enjoy your troglodyte existence.
Then the Caucasians and some ape as low as a baboon instead of now is between the Negro, Australian Aborigines and the gorilla. Do you realize what he's saying? The Australian Aborigines and people from Africa are closer to the apes than the Caucasians. How's that for racism?
I would caution you, and again, I think this is something that even scholars, right, even people who are professional scholars, you know, we always have to constantly check ourselves and say, okay, this is what my authoritative source says. Well, why is that? Why do I consider that source authoritative? And what is the basis for what that source says? And then, am I interpreting it correctly? Am I understanding it right?
Right.
Right. So there are all these different layers that you have to think about whenever you approach something. But there are times when it's even the most authoritative scholarly source, it's worth thinking about how they got there. Because that can tell us how to use that information. It can help us think about how to use it and how to expand on it, how to go from there, if that makes sense.
We already know that most of what happened during colonialism was fundamentally based on the teachings of Charles Darwin. It was basically used as a justification, and you guys are going to sit here and trumpet his entire theory like it's flawless. Listen, it's pseudo for any human being to take a teaching of any other human being wholeheartedly and not critique any part of it. As a human being, you should never pick anyone's teachings wholeheartedly and not critique a part of it. You guys are sounding seriously pseudo doing that.
Is this
That's dangerous.
But there are times when it's even the most authoritative scholarly source, it's worth thinking about how they got there. Because that can tell us how to use that information. It can help us think about how to use it and how to expand on it, how to go from there, if that makes sense.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
All right. Shout out to the King's monologue. Dang, y'all be running up on people. That's all y'all had to do was try to ridicule and insult that brother like Bobby thought he could do with me. Now you just over here looking crazy. Well, let's have some fun real quick because your sentiment is contagious. And that spread to my good brothers. Let's just chill.
Well, meanwhile, little did we know, this local big head nigga named Rico started feeling his pockets was getting a little thinner since we got there.
Hey dog, them fools go right there.
Trouble was right there on that corner, staring right
What
at
I
us.
don't like is that the nigga looked like he
They
had
rolling hard too. They slang you real good, real good.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, he looked like he having fun. You know what I mean? So
might have to drop.
I don't know, y'all
Might have to drop.
y'all gonna have to do something. Sure. Y'all gonna have to rain on his parade some type of way. Because I don't think
we gotta get our propaganda wheel up. We gotta get our propaganda wheel up.
You gotta get y'all propaganda because the scholarship
I don't like that shit.
is not gonna work. Y'all gonna have to do something. Y'all gonna have to rain on his parade some type of way.
I'll take that.
What I don't like is that the nigga look like he having fun.
We need to go focus on them bitches.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all like
So I'm like, yo, he look like he having fun. You know what I mean?
Right here.
So
right there, though, son.
I don't know, y'all gonna have to do something.
For sure.
All right.
Y'all gonna have to rain on his parade some type of way. Because I don't
So
think
we
the
gotta get our
scholarship.
propaganda wheel up. We gotta get our propaganda
You
wheel
gotta
up.
get y'all propaganda because
nigga like me.
the
show my
scholarship
appreciation, you know what I'm saying?
is not gonna work.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
It's
I
not
said
enough
I need
for
to
him.
check
Like
nuts in the whole
he
knot,
got his
especially
shoulder
you,
rolled
son.
up. He walking
Yeah.
through every
Yeah.
scholar y'all put up. He walking through.
Man.
Yeah, he over there. He feel like he won. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Fuck all that. You know what I mean? Let's talk about something else. You know what I mean? So now, you know, that's why I've been said y'all need to turn Kent loose. Y'all gonna have to do something. Y'all gonna have to rain on his parade some type of way.
No, y'all just grew my parade. They helped to build my parade. Y'all started my parade by going against blackness and everybody being tired of hearing y'all say that shit, and they was looking for somebody to stand up to that bullshit. And another thing I wanted to say, if y'all don't like the content while I'm in the YouTube streets, I recommend watching King's Monologues page because he keep it just how y'all want it. You can share all his content with your young folks. But right now, we knocking them down. So let's see. Let's look at something brand new. Y'all ready to see some hot new content? They ain't even got no content. They just scream on the mic and call names. No sources, no presentations, no nothing.
The pseudo killers and Bro Garfield have maintained that Egyptians were not black and that they would never call themselves that. After their statements were disproven, they went on a rampage contacting white Egyptologists to try to get these Egyptologists to say Egyptians were not black and they would not have called themselves that. This effort backfired tremendously as Kara Cooney told them that Egyptians were black, and Dr. Maggie Bryson said they would call themselves Kem, the Black, frequently. Now let's watch Brother Onk switch his position to agreeing with Smash. He knows now Egyptians were black and they called themselves that, confirmed by his experts.
In Egyptian, similarly, Kemet, another root of three sounds, right? Three consonant sounds, refers to something that is black in color. Yeah? So it can be used for different words relating to blackness via the Kemet sound. It doesn't mean they're the same thing, it just means they all have something in common. So when it is used for Kemet, the black land, it carries the classifier, and you identified it correctly. It is indeed a classifier, or as Egyptologists sometimes call it, a determinative, which shows that it's a place, right? You were showing me. You showed me the glyph. It's a place with crossroads that you're seeing from the sky. That says it's a location that is referring to the black land, yeah? The inundation, the Nile Valley. This one you see the classifier has changed. And so now it is cattle with horns. And it's referring to cattle that is black in color. Okay, so it's not the same word. Like I'm saying, everything that's sort of Kemet related, like this guy who calls himself Kemi, the black, in his nickname, right, his epithet, that's also black. It's a slightly different word. It's got the same root, so it means something that's connected. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So let me ask you this. Can't you, hold on, let me say this. So you could read that the black people, right? The black people, right? So you could read that the black people, right? The black people, right? The black people, right? You could actually say that. I'm telling you, yo, the expert said you could literally say it if you wanted to. The black people, right? So let me ask you this. Can't you, hold on, let me say this. So you could read that the black people, right? I've consistently said that interjecting race into the conversation, like black or white, is anachronistic. The black people, right? And during those time periods, they would have never called themselves black. So let me ask you this. Can't you, hold on, let me say this. So you could read that the black people, right? And I simply said, if you're saying that the Egyptians call themselves black people, then you're completely out of cultural context. So let me ask you this. Can't you, hold on, let me say this. So you could read that the black people, right?
Now, Brother Ankh agrees that you can read Kemet as the black people, so his pseudo-killer cult following will also have to switch their position. Game over.
Why would anybody spend any more time arguing on that? That's why we just been having fun. Chilling. Right? Why ain't nobody said nothing about this video? Oh, it's today Thursday? Today Wednesday. We on Sonata tomorrow. What's today? Let me see. It's Wednesday. Why ain't nobody said nothing about this?
10 Egyptologists who say the Egyptians were black.
A hierarchy of race like that developed by Morton, Knott, and Glidden, and still deployed today by white supremacists, cannot be sustained if not one but two great black civilizations arose in Africa at the dawn of history. It is therefore entirely appropriate and even necessary to confront constructions of race for Nubia and Egypt in the recent past and acknowledge both civilizations as African and black.
So did you face any of that type of backlash or harsh feedback from your stance on ancient Egypt?
So yes, but interestingly, I haven't received any harsh feedback from Egyptologists. When I go around and I give talks on this subject, the Egyptologists who've been in the audience of my talks are very receptive, and they think that this is really important work and that I need to keep forging ahead with it. But I have gotten negative feedback, especially over email from Egyptians. So it's an interesting conundrum where there are some Egyptians who will tell me, I mean, these are people I don't know who are just like finding out how to contact me and send me an email and say, what you're doing is wrong. The ancient Egyptian culture was not a black culture. Modern Egyptians are not black people. What you're doing is dangerous. You need to stop saying this, which of course, I'm not going to stop saying this. And I try to explain what my work is about. And I also try to explain, you see, our perspective in America on what black is different from a lot of the rest of the world. And so I try to explain our American context of that word. But yeah, I've definitely gotten some harsh feedback.
First off, the Egyptians, of course, were African, and we have evidence from Herodotus and other sources that Africans tended to be black, that they were a range of colors that would constitute black today. and they were actually, the Greek words that are used for them is black.
Now, don't misunderstand me. I am not saying that the ancient Egyptians were not black as we Americans perceive it. They were. The way we define black with mixed race one drop rule, the way we define black as a positive thing, the Egyptians were black.
So you're suggesting maybe these people migrated north?
Yes, or their culture did, and them. Really east to the Nile Valley, east and north.
East and north.
Yeah,
I see. So today in Egypt, the archaeologists often refer to, and I've been there, to connections between ancient Egyptian culture and the Sumerian culture and the Crete culture and the Persian culture. Yet when you visit Egypt, especially around Aswan in the southern part of the Nile, you see mostly black people.
Yes, yeah, and we know from the anthropological evidence that the people just predating the dynastic civilization in the Nabta region were black African people.
I can sympathize with the impulse to sort of to be very strident, to be very argumentative, to be very certain, to act very certain about the blackness of the ancient Egyptians, because for the longest time, the very longest time, there was this prevailing idea that black is Africa and Africa is less than, right? That no matter what happens, no matter how you cast it, anytime you fall on the wrong side of that dividing line between black and not black, even not between black and white, whatever's coming from that black side is going to be less than. And it took people being willing to challenge that orthodoxy, and sometimes in a very ill-informed way, right? Sometimes, it just took people coming up and going, I feel like this, and so I'm going to say it and make it right. And it turns out they actually were in some ways, right? Because now we can look at Egypt and say the ancient Egyptians are an African civilization. These are people that, by and large, we probably would have looked at and thought, oh, these are black people.
When it comes to the 25th dynasty, a lot of people are going to commonly call them the Black Pharaohs. You see it online, there's books written titled that, so on and so forth. Do you feel like that distinction has to be made? And how I ask that is, I've noticed online, a lot of people don't seem to think that for some reason you could be black and be Egyptian. And I've always kind of disagreed with that, because I feel like even though the ancients weren't colorblind per se, I feel that you could be black and be Egyptian. Would you say that is correct?
Yes, I think so. For instance, as I told you before, this kind of, for instance, of Nubian warriors that were settled in Egypt, at some time they were living a perfectly Egyptian life, and they collaborated with the Egyptians and so on. I don't know if you have in mind, for instance, it's the representation of people carrying a Colossus statue. And there are rows of people, of young people, young soldiers, something like that. And you find Nubians, Egyptians, Libyans, and so on. There was this kind of idea that the local rulers rule, in fact, over say, multicultural society, probably in which the military component was quite important. Military contingents made Nubians, of people from Asia, from Libya, and so on. So I think it was perfectly normal that these people, they were black, so they married Egyptians, or inversely, Nubian women, they married Egyptians, and so on. I think there is some evidence, for instance, in the documents of the New Kingdom, of this kind of, of marriage between people from different geographical or cultural or ethnical roots. I think it was no problem at all. As I said before, they could reach very important positions in the kingdom. And for instance, in the late Bronze Age, it was quite normal that very high, Nubians or very high local position, they built their wonderful and excellent tombs in Egyptian style. They reached important positions in the Egyptian administration, so on. So why not when black people or people from Nubia, they became pharaohs, well, they continue to represent themselves, sometimes with their very distinctive physical characteristics. So it was, I think, no problem at all.
I've worked in prisons now for 18 years. That was my first time I'd been in a prison. And the teacher who picked me up at the stations, she said, well, you are looking at this as Africa. And I was like, well, yeah, of course I am. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, because she said that's how they, my students see it. And I said, well, how else would they see it? And I remember her looking slightly confused. And then the first sort of interaction I had with one of her students was he came in the room and he said, ancient Egypt is African. I went, yeah, of course. And I think he thought I hadn't heard him properly. And he said, I said it was like African, as in black African. And I'm like, yeah, and what's your point? And I think it was only really at that after that experience that I thought, am I in some kind of bubble here or something? And so I started to actually look into the sort of background, really, the sort of, which we're starting to talk about it a little bit more in terms of colonial approaches, but still not directly the racism that Egyptology is founded upon. And at that point, it was almost like a sort of light bulb moment. I thought, well, why is this still the case when we, are we still stuck, 100 years sort of previously in this kind of racist ideology? Why is nobody challenging this? Because other disciplines had. So anthropology had looked very hard at itself in terms of looking at its colonial kind of past. It just seemed that Egyptology was kind of almost stuck there and it didn't really want to talk about it. So for me, it always was African. It was a bit of a shock to me when I actually started looking a bit deeper into this and then started having conversations with people and seeing how they responded to that.
I think that the further back in history you go, the blacker the Egyptians are. And by black, I don't merely mean dark skin, but also with other Negro characteristics.
You have spent much of your life studying the history of the ancient Egyptians. Who were the ancient Egyptians? How did they look?
Voilà, les Égyptiens anciens ressemblaient à cette terre que vous voyez. Voici le premier roi de la terre.
Here you have the first king of the earth, the very first. And the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, looked like this man.
Cet homme a des traits, si vous voulez, plus, comme nous disons, vous m'aviez dit tout à l'heure de ne pas employer un terme, mais sur le plan scientifique, c'est un terme consacré. En tout cas, il a des traits de la race noire plus marqués que celles de presque tous ceux qui sont ici dans cette salle.
You can see that he has those traits that are associated with the black those features associated with the black race, which are even more pronounced than many of the people here. It was this man who unified the Nile Valley from Upper to Lower Egypt, and this was 3,300 years before Jesus Christ.
Je passe donc, ce que je vais dire avant de passer au suivant, c'est que vous allez le voir donc déjà d'après ses traits et les traits aussi des pharaons qui vont suivre.
You can see by his features and those of the pharaohs and kings that will follow it
que les anciens Égyptiens n'étaient pas des blancs qui seraient devenus progressivement noirs et en perdant leurs traits.
You can see that they were not people that were started as whites and became progressively more black.
Mais qu'au départ, c'était des noirs authentiques qui, à la basse époque, vont se métisser avec des blancs.
They were instead black people, an authentic black people, but which never ceased to be blacks.
Donc, attendez, je dis en un mot. Donc, vous voyez que les anciens Égyptiens étaient des noirs comme tous les autres naturels de l'Afrique, c'est tout.
You can see that the first the Egyptians were black men, like black men that you see in Africa now.
No one is going to address that video because it's too, oh my gosh. So we're going to rewind for a minute. Shout out to everybody in the building. Get the likes up. Because the PK need to figure out what their next switch up going to be. First they was like, we were saying they was black, but they just didn't call themselves that. Now they got beat up on that, and the literary leader came out and said, you could call them black, you could actually say that. I'm telling you, the experts say you can actually say that. So are you guys just gonna be quiet? Let me fix my mic. Are you guys just gonna be quiet? All right, so y'all gonna save some type of face and be like, okay, y'all won. Hell no, they're not gonna do that. They're just gonna make up some other fake argument.
The pseudo killers and Bro Garfield have maintained that Egyptians were not black and that they would never call themselves that. After their statements were disproven, they went on a rampage contacting white Egyptologists to try to get these Egyptologists to say Egyptians were not black and they would not have called themselves that. This effort backfired tremendously as Kara Cooney told them that Egyptians were black, and Dr. Maggie Bryson said they would call themselves Kem, the Black, frequently. Now let's watch Brother Ankh switch his position to agreeing with Smash. He knows now Egyptians were black and they called themselves that, confirmed by his experts.
In Egyptian, similarly, Kemet, another root of three sounds, right, three consonant sounds, refers to something that is black in color. Yeah? So it can be used for different words relating to blackness via the Kemet sound. It doesn't mean they're the same thing, it just means they all have something in common. So when it is used for Kemet, the black land, it carries the classifier, and you identified it correctly. It is indeed a classifier, or as Egyptologists sometimes call it, a determinative, which shows that it's a place, right? You were showing me, you showed me the glyph. It's a place with crossroads that you're seeing from the sky. That says it's a location that is referring to the black land, yeah, the inundation, the Nile Valley. This one, you see, the classifier has changed, and so now it is cattle with horns, and it's referring to cattle that is black in color. Okay, so it's not the same word. Like I'm saying, everything that's sort of Kemet related, like this guy who calls himself Kemi, the Black, in his nickname, right, his epithet, that's also black. It's a slightly different word. It's got the same root, so it means something that's connected. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So let me ask you this. Can't you, hold on, let me say this. So you could read that the black people, right? The black people, right? So you could read that the black people, right? The black people, right? The black people, right? You could actually say that. I'm telling you, yo, the expert said you could literally say it if you wanted to. The black people, right? So let me ask you this. Can't you, hold on, let me say this. So you could read that the black people, right? I've consistently said that interjecting race into the conversation, like black or white, is anachronistic. The black people, right? And during those time periods, they would have never called themselves black. So let me ask you this. Can't you, hold on, let me say this. So you could read that the black people, right? And I simply said, if you're saying that the Egyptians call themselves black people, then you're completely out of cultural context. So let me ask you this. Can't you, hold on, let me say this. So you could read that the black people, right?
Now Brother Ankh agrees that you can read Kemet as the black people, so his pseudo-killer cult following will also have to switch their position. Game over.
When Scamming the People Goes Wrong, featuring Bobby Boogers. In this clip, Bobby Boogers wants you to think Smash was not well received by the scholars.
Favorite part of the video right here was Smash. He's on there with a whole chamber of doctors. And this what he did. Big up to Smash Scamwell.
As far as my artistry with what I'm learning from you guys, and I want to share a lyric. I'm not going there. I'm just going to say something I think you would enjoy. My last song, I said, melodic script in my cartouche. I rolled through with them newbies, cartouche. Now, I know, see, a few of you might enjoy that because we know how cartouche is who they sent out to get the brothers from the South when they had beef about the 5th or 6th dynasty.
Let's listen to Bobby Boogers' contention with this video.
I want you to notice the nigga ain't got no suit on.
Bobby Boogers is mad. Smash has no suit on.
Oh yeah, he suited up for the white man.
He's suited and booted.
Hold on, let me process this shit.
Like they say, y'all always get the white scholars, but y'all.
He jump on there rapping
He stood up
in a hoodie. Boy, you better go ahead, yo. I got you, yo. Yeah, when it comes to the sisterhood and doctors, all of them got, yo, this be the perfect time to be three-piece suit up right now. You got about 8 doctors, yo. 8 doctors, yo.
And women, and women doctors.
Did you notice he only played one clip, then didn't really have anything to say? Let's see what Bobby Boogers left out. And if you can confirm what this is in his left nostril, you win a free book.
We go into the terms, Kemet. We do a lot of hard research on these matters. And I just wanted to say, I don't know, I just wanted to let you know what we're doing. We're not doing it necessarily inside of academia, but the methodology that we learn from following people like yourselves is affecting us. And I don't know if you're following some of this conversation in the social media platform where it's taking a different stage. We have a facet of Black people who are now arguing, wait, the ancient Egyptians were not Black.
Talking about the pseudo killers.
And since it's being pumped into this machine, it's getting a lot more media than a lot of the work that some of us are doing to show the multiplicity or how it was actually in ancient Egypt. And so we find a lot of resistance to what we're bringing forth, but I don't want to filibuster or anything, but I do want to let you know that there are others out here following your work with only the intent to support and to get this conversation to more people.
Thank you, Jonathan. I wanted to ask you, are any of you all connected with the Nubia platform, the K-Nubia platform?
Because I have not heard anyone mention the K-Nubia platform.
Because Mario Beatty is teaching a class on Meta-Nature, and he posts like a whole bunch of sources like every class. So if even if just one of y'all join, because it's a subscription based, because it's connected with Narrative, Karen Hunter. Are you familiar with In Class with Carr?
I'm not familiar with In Class with Carr. I am very familiar with the work of Dr. Mario Beatty. We support his work and even use some of his statements about Kemet.
He's up to like 50 something lessons, but it's all archived, so you can start at the beginning. And like I said, he uploads attachments for like every class, and it's community based. So almost all the people in there are just non-academics studying Meta-Nature.
Wonderful, thanks for the resource.
Bobby Boogers is a hater. Let's see how they really felt about the bars on Harkuf.
I'm not going there. I'm just going to say something I think you would enjoy. My last song, I said, melodic script in my cartouche. I rolled through with them newbies, Harkuf. Now, I know, see, a few of you might enjoy that because we know how Harkuf is who they sent out to get the brothers from the South when they had beef about the 5th or 6th dynasty. And so I am trying to let it merge with the art as well so we can get it out with more people. And I know the Melodic script has nothing to do with Nubian or Nobian. I think you were just
No, wait, now, come on now.
I don't know that then. Does it
It
have
100% does.
Then I'm right on point. All right, thank you.
Dr. Solange Ashby and Dr. Rosetta Cash confirmed Jonathan Owens' lyric to be correct, accurate, and appropriate. Now, let's see when Booger stopped the video.
This is my favorite part of the video right here with Smash. He's on there with a whole chamber of doctors. And this week, big up to Smash Scamwell.
As far as my artistry with what I'm learning from you guys, and I want to share a lyric. I'm not going there. I'm just going to say something I think you would enjoy. My last song, I said, melodic script in my cartouche. I rolled through with the Nubian cartouche. Now, I know, see, a few of you might enjoy that because we know how Arku is who they sent out to get the brothers from the South when they had beef about the 5th or 6th dynasty.
I want you to notice.
I want you to notice where Ankh stopped the video.
I want you to notice the nigga ain't got no suit on.
Bobby Boogers has nothing to say.
Oh yeah, he suited up for the white man.
He's suited and booted.
Like they say, y'all always get the white skulls, but y'all.
He jump on there rapping in a hoodie.
hoodie.
Boy, you better go ahead, yo. I got you, yo. Yeah, when it comes to the sisterhood and doctors, all of them yo, this be the perfect time to be three-piece suit up right now. You got about 8 doctors, yo. 8 doctors, yo.
And women, and women doctors.
Women.
What is Robin implying here?
Women. Best thing you do is start rapping.
See where Booger stopped the video? He didn't want to show you this. Dr. Ben Levy told Joel Kemet means Black City, and PK's cut it out the video.
So, okay, Kemet means Black City. I would love some content on that. Help me to understand what they meant by that. And then Joseph Ben Levy mentioned Kemet to you. I wanted to know.
That was Rosetta, but I'm with you though.
Okay. Rosetta mentioned Kemet to you.
No, either way, I can go with you on that though.
All right, but I wanted to know. The second question is: did they refer to others as Kemet to you, or is that just for those within their, Egypt territory? So that was it.
That's a good question. Well, one of the things that, as a polyglot, I like to say that if you really want to understand what a term means, you have to learn how the people themselves viewed that term in their language, which means that when you see, hieroglyphs, the symbols themselves will tell you what they mean. You know that when you're looking at the word, Kemet, and it has an owl in it, and it has a determinative for city, and it has a determinative for what Diop describes as a crocodile, as a piece of charcoal that's described as a crocodile tail. If you see all these different terms, or the loaf of bread that's a T, when you see those terms, they say what you see is what it is. It's what they call a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. All right, so that whenever you see it written or a form of it written, it always means the same thing all the time. And depending on the context in which it is used, that will determine for you whether or not it may or may not represent people. If it's representing people, it's going to have a determinative for a man and a woman at the end of it, usually with 3 strokes under, meaning more than one. If it's by itself, it could mean something else entirely, depending on because there are many different ways that the word Kim is used. And that depends on, again, what is following Kim. But that's always clear in the language. It's in the glyphs. It's oftentimes when we see these things written by people who know no glyphs, or who throw them in some book in English, more often than not, their context is not quite correct. And this is why we advocate for learning the language, learning the glyphs, going out to K-Nubian, studying the glyphs with Dr. Mario Beatty, because he's like an expert. I mean, we got a lot of people who are good at it, but that brother is like really good. All right. And there's several of us who are good. I could teach glyphs. You know, Rosetta could teach some glyphs. But, you know, I always say, yeah, I'm good, but Mario was a whole lot better. And I've been studying since 1977, you know. But at the same time, you got to always look at that all the time. It makes a difference. I just got through studying hieratic. And to see Kemet in hieratic, you know, it's like a whole nother different type of flavor of looking at it, and just looking at it straight on, you wouldn't know what it was. And dare say, you know, Solange is, you know, a demotic person. When I see demotic, it just looked like a bunch of scratches and stuff on a piece of paper to me. I don't know what's going on, right? I don't know what's going on, all right?
Some more shit Boogers didn't want you to see.
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to speak and to introduce myself. My name is Jonathan Owens. I've written, my latest work is called Black Like Osiris, right? And so I titled it that way on purpose, obviously because it's more marketable. But the overall thesis is to find out what is behind this Black symbolism, this Black reality that has sometimes been written off by Egyptologists. For instance, Kemet means the fertile Nile suit. I can say right now, just from my limited research, that all of us would be pressed to come up with a primary source that says the ancient Egyptians stated it this way.
Bobby Boogers did not want you to know Smash challenged 8 PhDs to come up with a source for the Black Silk claims. Shame.
We go into the terms, Kemet. We do a lot of hard research on these matters, and I just wanted to say, I don't know, I mean, I just wanted to let you know what we're doing. We're not doing it necessarily inside of academia, but the methodology that we learn from following people like yourselves is affecting us, and I don't know if you're following some of this conversation in the social media platform where it's taken a different stage. We have a facet of Black people who are now arguing, wait, the ancient Egyptians were not Black.
Smash was talking about the Baltimore booger bully Bobby Blatter. He almost peed on himself last live stream. Peace.
Moronic script in my cartoon. Roll through with them arches. I'ma open up a dome in a minute. I'm Bennu giving y'all truth. Iron core from meteorite should be chartreuse. Turbocharged the chariot and almost left Ferrari. The queen like almost Nefertari. Immortalize an image, put a figure in a figurine. Him at Netherite, who heard? Them leopard skin kilts, yeah, the clan wear 'em. And I turn your knee suit to a fan bearer. Have my servants build a new stadium where I'ma slaughter you, surround your tomb alive with boot cranium. Remove the organs, we preserve the dead. Mummify them, then carve them a reserve head. And all your internet mans who lied with you, died with you, sacrificed their life after life with you. Now I'm all in your spot, and I'm calling the shots while your soul get devoured in the hall of my eye. Ain't a night ballin' or not, care if you ballin' or not. I'm still gonna tell you guys, go to Kemet like El Shaddai. You ain't no king, You're like Cambyses the Persian who couldn't draw the Nubian bowstring. Melt the jewels in your crown into a gold ring. Refashion them after smashing the whole thing. You're like Pepe II. Too old, king. If you think it ain't Black, then let me just check them. I know the syntax. Every morphine and faux me. The scholarship top line dog and the flow mean. And my debater make a fraud, quit the internet. Sometimes I wonder if I saw to fix this window yet. That's what you call repair, re-end. They heard the king of Madjai was a scary man, and he is though. I'm telling you, you better contain him, man. He's busting arrows at all these Mediterraneans, killing them. Now we ain't getting no views. Yeah, them flip-flops look like Tutankhamun shoes. And y'all just wiki, thinking I'm enthused. They turned Egyptian temples to churches and still say, I'm enthused. It's crazy. They just wiki, cause they lazy. So they can call me Pseudo, it don't faze me. The page monetized, so crushing you clowns pays. You dig? Madjai archers. Dead period. Your boy Uncle Cat, that's my #1 fan. Your first sign at a debate, I put it in your hand. Your niggas never been out of America, Penang, Khartoum, I'm the man of Sudan. Now watch me do my end zone dance. Is that your friend home? It depend on chance, and my pen gone. Where your old homies at? Oh, they been gone. The bearers shoot like Genesis. I ain't even keeping the score. These are scrimmages. Look at them attached to smash these appendages. That's why you ain't got no content. Every show you do, you steady talking about my shit. At your last show, Greg, it really wasn't it. You said Jabari stole the debate and threw a fit. I'm a rock squad, everybody see the split. And Madjai the only ones left in this bitch. That's why I took the Facebook group from you. And you ain't try to tell nobody that. He like a fiend, get robbed and be cool as long as don't nobody know. Yeah, that's how he act. Pip squeak pipe down. You ain't got no scholars with you. Cedric got you wiped down. Juju got you wiped down. Dozy got you wiped down. It's like your show. I'm killing pseudos right now. And you can't read that metal letter that I write down. Then I prove him and mean black people, they tight now. Said I smack your ass, bully, don't wanna fight now. Few of these give a nigga Z's with the night now. And teach a nigga about the smack migration. Had atheist dudes pouring black libations. Cause the Mac tried patience, but they acted like they hard-headed. So fuck it, they can all get it. That's right, I bust your pinata, act like Nepal said it. Y'all edit up videos that give your dog credit. Authentic author, carcinogenic artist. Y'all should caution your authors. It's been a minute since I checked these feminine minutes. They timid with it. It's Madjai for life. And Kemet winning. Unlimited images invented by Hemet women. Celestial pools of life. And I'm swimming in them, finna kill them. They snakes, but they ain't got no venom in them. Really never watch their shows. I'm done dealing with them. When I hear your voice, it's hard to feel a nigga.
I'ma play one more tune and we be right back.
Hey, they jealous of Jabari. And Madjai bring the ladies and the fellas to the party. Just embellishing my intelligence. Hell if I be Gotti. Madjai just caught a body. I don't know, and they ain't got no recourses. Get them on their show when they won't show sources. 350Z is dropped, they got horses. Little niggas tripping, should've stayed on their porches. Y'all ride poor, my nigga, we ride Porsches. Y'all Wikipedia scholars, we take courses. And the experts agree with me. Kemet on trial, wasn't nothing but G's with me. Brought my New York niggas out. Kemet straight black, yeah, you know what this shit about. Check the pinky, bro, who wearing the ring. If you see me in the streets, bitch, salute the king. I wouldn't pity a thing, I'm like Idi Amin. My committee sent me defending with the wittiest schemes. Hideous schemes, really it's the silliest thing for you to think that you could get me. On this mic, I'm more like Don Cornelius. Raise your hand if you never done an encore. I write the rhymes DJs drop bombs for. Sitting low, hitting grass with the blade spinning. That's a lawnmower. Y'all should hang that up. That Caracuni interview don't even bring that up. I mean, this the type of nigga steal Moringa from Chief X. When you strung out, stealing is a reflex. I'm killing them, they don't want no beef next. I'm the Bruce Lee of the loose leaf text. If I do seem vexed, I'm in a new clean test, getting charged up while you're boosting next. One more, we just chilling. That Oakland shit, I've been bout my papyrus since I've been in it. Put me in the debate, you know I'm gon' win it. If I scream black power, don't get timid. If I say black city, I'm talking about Kemet. If I say black city, I'm talking about Kemet. Primary research and we done pushed it to the limits. All you dudes finished. The king counting cattle up with brother Reggie. When I'm in Oakland, smoking, bro, they love the Chevy. Back in the day, it was the spokes on the chariot. Long procession when the king got carried out to every spot. Woman looking nice as ISIS. I read ancient texts, so my advice is priceless. Nubian gold, your ice don't entice us. Beating me harder than counting grains in your spices. Your heart was beating, but your brain dead. You're lifeless. Pseudo, yo, they ain't nothing like us, yo. Don't try to make me mad. Make me smile and say you love me, man. That's real right there. Yeah, come on. You should listen to your main man's advice. Do a YouTube and apologize like Dice. Or the back fade coming like the Antichrist. Egyptologist sent me reading and said that I'm nice. I got a Stella with your name on it. I'm like Sargon. You the type of dude wake up and your car gone. Told, cause of the money you owe. Before you stream, you should clean up that humble abode. Like Knock City for my woman in gold. I keep the pseudos running, people coming in droves. You catch me on a live stream with Pan-African James. When we building, call us by our African names. I'm for the children. And ain't nothing happen to change. We on that black hype, so we still packing them things for protection. Got connection. My complexion, pure black, that's the S. Make me smile. You love me? Show me some love. All right.
Right now, we got the best show on the internet. Because you can learn and you can chill and you can do all that. And please believe, if you ever sat at the house
So those shots should be less
and was mad that they was talking that nonsense against blackness, then you're an archer.
Why would I say that? Because I'm a Madjai archer, B. God damn it. See, that's why I say at least, I mean, you know what I'm talking about? Damn.
So we're going to talk about who were the Magi. They would like you to believe you ain't looking at black people right now. Matter of fact, they done tried everything in their power to get you to think that you wasn't looking at black people right now. And then when they admit that you're looking at black people, they say, oh, those was Nubians. Right? Imagine living in America today and having a foreign police force. Reggie live with Kara Cooney? All right, we about to go check that out. Peace. We're going to check out Dr. Reggie on Kara Cooney. Everybody, let's go get the arrows up. Tons of arrows in the chat. Let's shower them with arrows. Peace.